Hello and welcome to the Booksplosion Book of the Month live show. Today we are going to be discussing The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. We worked with Quirk Books this month. I guess we can start with introductions. Hi, I'm Kat from the channel Catty-tastic.
Hi, I'm Christine from Bullet to Bananas Books.
Hi, I'm Jesse from Jesse the Reader, and we're Booksplosion!
Woo!
So we're going to be taking questions here on the chat, though it does move kind of fast. So if you really want us to be sure to see your question, you can tweet us. On Twitter, you can do @Booksplosion, and we'll try to keep an eye on that. But it's best if you use hashtag #FandomSplosion to ask us questions. That's what we're keeping an eye on. And yeah, we're going to be discussing this book, but before we get into that, we have a quick announcement to make. A quick couple of announcements.
Yeah, we're talking about BookCon.
BookCon, because BookCon is next weekend. So
Who's ready?
I'm not.
I'm not, but I'm excited.
Yes, that. So we're going to start by telling you guys a little bit about what we're doing at BookCon. So on Saturday, first thing in the morning, Christine, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Fierce Reads Author Breakfast at 10 a.m. if you want to hit that up and hang out and talk at breakfast. And then after that,
at 11:45, I will be moderating Rainbow Rowell's Carry On Wayward panel, which is so exciting and so nerve-wracking. But like last year, I missed Rainbow's panel where she announced Wayward Son, and that was really rough for me. So the fact that I get to like moderate this panel and I'm not going to miss a thing, real excited about that. But yeah, after that, Christine, you're doing something that afternoon too.
Yeah, so after that, from 12 to 12:30, I'm doing like a Facebook Live Q&A about Again But Better. So even if you're not going to be at BookCon, you can send in questions and I'll be like answering them live. I think it'll be like streamed on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. But so I'll be tweeting out links and stuff like that. But just like know if you want to be there, it's at 12 Eastern time, noon Eastern time on Saturday.
Cool. And then Jesse, you want to tell us what's happening later that day?
Yeah.
Then at 5 o'clock, the Booksplosion panel is happening. Yay! We always have a great time every year at BookCon, having our panel, and we're super stoked for this one as well.
We really are.
We're doing something a little special.
Yeah.
Christine, do you want to explain it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So we're doing a segment called Dear Booksplosion. Now, if you've listened to Dear Hank and John, we're doing sort of an advice column, Dear Hank and John style, where you can send us emails at emailsareawesome@gmail.com. Wow, we should have put that in the description.
Yeah,
I'll put it.
I'm recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's emails and then like the letter R and then awesome
@gmail.com. So you can email us your advice, like email us questions, like advice questions. Nothing's too weird, nothing's too small. Like the more creative, the more fun it is. We'll be giving dubious advice. We're going to be filming this segment and putting it on our Booksplosion channel. So even if you're not there and we choose to answer your question, you can watch it and it's going to be super fun. We're super excited. And yeah, maybe down the line we'll start it as a thing that like we do every month on the Booksplosion channel. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Because we want to try this out, see how it goes, but we're really excited. We think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We spend a lot of time asking or answering like bookish questions.
Mm-hmm.
So we think it's going to be fun to just answer like general advice, like anything you guys want to know.
Yeah.
Or want advice on, like not just answering questions about ourselves, but like let us help you maybe.
Yes. And we're obviously going to have a couple other segments and be taking questions from the audience as well. So it'll be lots of fun. The Booksplosion panel is always a highlight of our book cons because we have so much fun interacting with you guys IRL.
Yeah. So that's Saturday. And then Sunday, we are also doing a 2-hour meet and greet from 12 noon until 2 p.m. And how that works is I don't think there's not like tickets ahead of time. It's just like you show up in line and then you get to come and meet us and get some pictures and say hi and everything. And that's really fun too. So that's from 12 till 2 on Sunday. And then Sunday evening, Jesse has something.
At 4:30, I'm going to be doing a Facebook stream just like Christine is doing on Saturday. I don't know why I was invited to do this because the initial breakdown is that it's for authors, but I'm doing it anyway. So tune into my Facebook, my Instagram. We go stream. It's going to be great.
That'll be great. Yeah. So that's our BookCon schedule. And like, obviously we're going to be around at other times and like, we're going to be at Book Expo too. But those are like for sure, if you want to say hi to us times, those are what you want to pay attention to.
Yeah. Come to the panel.
Yeah, come to the panel.
Dude, I didn't talk. I have a signing at 1:30 on Saturday. Okay, so I have a signing for Again But Better. And that's like a big thing. It's gonna be at the Macmillan Booth, which is booth 1544, I believe. 1544, 1445 are Macmillan. And so they're giving out tickets. Tickets drop at 10 a.m. in the morning. So you just show up at the booth and ask for a ticket for the Again But Better or Christine Riccio signing. And then the actual signing's at 1:30. So I'm so excited. It's so weird. Do you sign?
I've signed so many books on tour. Now you're going to sign more.
Yeah, and I believe you can get the book there if you don't have it yet. But yeah, you can ask in the morning. They'll know. They know everything at the booth. I'm on page 30. Cool.
So that is our BookCon schedule.
Yes.
And our announcement about our Booksplosion advice segment that we're going to be doing.
Sorry.
Now that we've taken care of that convention news, let's move on to discussing this book that takes place at a convention.
Yes.
Yay.
So let's talk a little bit without spoilers before we get into like the real spoilery section. So who wants to start about just general thoughts and feels?
Should we break down what the book is about first?
Sure.
Yeah. You want to do that?
I can do it. Okay. So the book is another take on The Prince and the Pauper, which I love that story. I don't know if you guys have watched the Mickey Mouse version, but that was my favorite growing up. And it's also like, It Takes Two is another one that's like The Princess and the Pauper.
I was gonna say it reminds me of that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Yeah. So it's about Princess Amara, the actress who plays Princess Amara in the Starfield movie in Geekarella. Jessica Stone. We know she's not a fan of like the series, the Starfield series, but she wants to be like a really professional like actress who gets nominated for Oscars and stuff. She doesn't want to do any more Starfield movies. She does not want to be in the sequel. She gets like hate all the time. So she's just like having a really shitty time doing Starfield press in general because she's constantly just getting shit on by the fans because they know she's not like a fan of the show and blah, blah, blah. So she's at ExcelsiCon, which is the conference that Elle from Geekarella's dad owns. And she's doing panels and stuff, and someone just shows up as her on a panel that she's late for. Like she's late for the panel, and there's like a girl just being like, "Hi, I'm Jessica Stone." And she's like, "What the fork is happening?" So the lookalike's name is Imogen, and she has been going to this conference for years because her parents have a booth on Artist's Alley, and so she goes every year. And her moms sell, I don't even know what her moms sell, like toys. They sell all sorts of like fandom toys.
Yeah, it seemed like pop culture stuff.
Yeah, pop culture stuff in Artist's Alley. So she knows ExcelsiCon like front and back. Like this is her stomping ground, and she ends up being mistaken for Jessica and pulled onto this panel to be her. And then since Jessica's having a hard time, she ends up being like, "Hey, actually, can you be me like all weekend so I could do other things?"
Well, there's also, because there's the plot aspect where Jessica, her script.
I didn't know if that was a spoiler or not. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean that's like why what they're investigating. That's like the plot side of the story. So the sequel script is being like slowly leaked by someone, and Jessica is being blamed for it. So, and she knows that she's not the one leaking it, but she feels like she might be a little bit responsible, or like she's getting blamed for it no matter what. So part of the reason why she wants to switch is so that she has like downtime, so that she can go like figure out like who's leaking this. You know, like if Jessica Stone is on a panel, then that leaves like the real Jessica to be able to like try to see who's leaking the script.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes place over like 3 days at this convention. The girls swap, and there are lots of like swappy shenanigans and just convention shenanigans and fandom shenanigans and just like fandom life. And yeah, it's a great fandom infused, funny rom-com type story.
Yeah.
Do you need to read Geekarella to read this?
You don't.
You don't, but I would if I were you.
I would, because it's great. Yeah. Also, like, you get more Damien, who is my favorite.
Also, did you guys know that there's gonna be a 3rd book in this series?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so excited for that.
I want there to be more than just 3, though. I want to just.
There might be. I mean, let Ash figure out how many she wants to write.
I also want to just answer, because someone said, is it weird that I hated the Jess chapters in the beginning of the book? But I think that's what's meant to happen. Like, you don't know and understand Jess until you go through this journey with her and like see her as a human being, and not just like the girl who plays Princess Amara who hates the series. Like,
yeah.
You have to like come to an understanding as to why she's like so annoyed with being in the Starfield franchise.
Yeah. Because when you're on the other end of it.
Yeah, it's not just that she's annoyed being in the series. It's just like she gets so much hell from the fans.
Yeah.
Like, she feels like she wants to love the series, the fandom, but like they make it so difficult for her because of how they treat her, and like she can't do anything right, she feels like.
Yeah, it's impossible to love something when you're constantly getting dumped on by literally everyone around you. Like, from every angle, people are screaming at her. So it's like, if you can't see it from her side until you see it from her side.
And like at one point she was being interviewed, and the interviewer was like, how do you feel about all the fans not liking your portrayal of Princess Amira or something? And it's like, why are you asking her a question like that? Like, that's so absurd.
Yeah.
Like, of course she's gonna be upset and like not want to be in this position if you're gonna be like disrespectful in that way, you know?
Yeah, I really liked that aspect of like, while these books, both Geekarella and this one, are kind of like love letters to fandom and like celebrate fandom, more so in this installment, we also saw kind of like the dark side of fandom.
Yeah.
You know, fandom is such a passionate place, but sometimes that passion can be like misplaced and turned into like a fan entitlement and like lashing out. And so I really loved seeing that aspect of it, because you know, I love fandom. It's a beautiful thing, but there are dark sides to it. So I liked that we got to explore that a little bit.
Let's do our thoughts. Jesse, kick it off, since we just talked a lot.
No, I feel like we just kind of went into it. I love this book so much. It didn't like reach Geekarella love for me, but I still really liked it a lot. I love seeing all the Geekarella characters throughout it as well. And I just like love this setting. I love being in a convention and being surrounded by fandom love. It's great. I too didn't love Jess's chapters at the beginning, but I grew to understand her character and I really liked her. I loved Imogen's chapters. I did feel like I had to like suspend my disbelief a little bit, because it was like, I don't know. It was just like, okay, Imogen, you're just switching places with Jess and you're doing it so naturally, talking to all these actors and stuff. Like, where's your anxiety? Like, do you not have any anxiety talking to all these actors and stuff?
She had it talking to like Vance and stuff. She was like,
Yeah, I guess. It just, I don't know. It just seemed like she just like eased into it. And so I just had to suspend my disbelief. But I don't know. I really loved it. Again, like I said, I want Ashley to like keep writing as many of these as she can. Like, give us more.
I just wanted to answer really quick. Veronica said that she thought that Jess and Imogen were going to be related because of the whole sperm donor thing. And I think actually it is inspired maybe that they did, that maybe they are related in some way because she specifically put that in. I feel like that's like, oh, maybe her sperm donor was related to Jess, sort of a thing. And I don't think we need confirmation on that. I think that's just a little nod. Like, oh, look, it could be possible.
Interesting.
Yeah, but anyway, I loved it. I had a choked on spit. Okay, I loved it. I had a really fun time. I didn't love it as much as I love Geekerella either, because that was just, it was like the first dip into like a fandom loving world in a book. And I love Damien. I love him so much. I was so excited every time he was in. Is that how we pronounce his name, Damien? Am I making that up? It's Damien, right?
You mean Darren?
Is it
Darian?
I was gonna say, it doesn't sound right every time I say it out
You
loud.
kept saying it, and I was like, did I miss the character Damien? I was reading the book. I was like scrambling, like, who is Damien?
Darren. It's not regular Darren, though.
Yeah, it's like Darian.
It's Darian, right?
Okay. That's what's screwing me up because I've never heard that name out loud. Okay. Anyway, I love him. And every time he was there with her, I was like, haha, he knows. Why are you saying be careful? I messed up a name.
I think the choking.
Oh, the choking. But anyway, yeah, I love him, and every time I was there, I was really excited. But I really love the new characters too. I really, like Kat was saying, I really loved like exploring the darker side of fandom and understanding Jess and all of that.
Yeah. So I agree with a lot of what you guys said. But I will say I liked Jess's chapters from the beginning. I mean, not to like compare my level of like internet fame with like Jess and Starfield, but you know, having a platform, like it can be stressful sometimes, and you can't have like, you know, people demanding things from you and they have such high expectations and you never feel like you're meeting that. So like I liked Jess's chapters from the beginning because I felt like I could kind of relate to her about like her struggles, about how like she wants to love this thing, but like sometimes it's hard. So I like that. I will say that I do agree. I liked Geekerella a little bit better than this one, though I did love this one. And I think the main part of it was like in Geekerella, we just have two main characters and one central romance. So we get to spend more time with that romance and like get really invested in that romance. And this one, we have two main characters, but they each have a separate romance. And so while I loved both of the main characters and their separate romances, we spent less time getting like invested in each of those separate romances. So I don't feel like as attached to the couples in this book as I feel attached to like Elle and Darian. But I loved this book. I loved the convention setting. I loved the fandom. I love that there was like so much queer rep and just so much fandom rep. Like there's Harry Potter references and like Star Wars references and like all these fandoms that I love, as well as like the made up fandom for the series, Starfield. So yeah, it's a great series, great companion novels.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like references every second, like little tiny ones everywhere. And it's like, cause you're at Comic-Con, it's just like they're everywhere.
It's just like, I don't know, these books just make me so happy. Like we've done both of these for Booksplosion live shows, and in both situations, I read the book in a single sitting, like 4 months early. Because as soon as the books arrive, I'm like, I have to stop everything and read these right now. They make me so happy. They're so cute and fun, and yeah, just good stuff.
Someone just asked, I just looked at the hashtag, and she said, is the book told from only Jess's perspective? And no, it's told from both Jess and Imogen's perspective. It goes back and forth.
Yes.
So intersplice in there. Do we want to we're going to start taking questions now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you want to put them in the chat, we're also looking at the chat, but
we're both going to be talking about the book and just fandoms in general. So if you guys have any fandom questions,
fandom questions are welcome.
Yes. We're taking questions from the comments and over on Twitter using hashtag #FandomSplosion.
Yes. Do you guys see one that you want to take?
Well, I have a question from me to you guys.
Okay.
What convention do you think is most like the start? Like out of all the conventions you guys have been to, what one would you think like has the same like feel or vibe kind of as the Starfield convention?
I mean, I feel like Comic-Con has the Starfield convention. I mean, it's not Starfield, it's Excelsicon. So it's like a sci-fi sort of convention. But like Comic-Con is definitely most where you're gonna see people cosplaying and such. I feel like they are here.
I always picture New York Comic-Con, not San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know why.
I always picture San Diego Comic-Con because it has like all these vibes to me. Yeah. New York Comic-Con just feels like I'm trapped in a box with 1,000 people because there's like it's so much tinier than San Diego in terms of like the space. Like because New York is just crammed.
It's true.
See, I think it is like the Comic-Cons in sort of like feel of just like a general like comic fandom convention. But those feel like too big and chaotic to like Starfield or Excelsicon. Like I want to compare it to like the more like NerdCon, which Christine and I went to, which is like it has like that small community.
I love NerdCon. It was such a great con. It was like everyone like understood our perspective on YouTube there too. It was like YouTube, but. Also, at the same time, it's not like a place where you see a lot of people cosplaying and talking about fandom in this way.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
maybe it's like a WonderCon or something like a small.
Yeah. Or like I haven't been there, but maybe Dragon Con, which is a very like fantasy, like nerdy kind of.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think, is there like a specific sci-fi conference? Like maybe like LeakyCon? I've never been to LeakyCon, but like does everyone
it might have more of that. Yeah. I could see that.
Questions?
Oh, here's an interesting one. Have you ever felt as much passion for a character's unjust ending as Imogen did for Mara?
Oh my gosh.
Like if you were gonna pull an Imogen and like campaign for like a character who you feel was not handled well, who would it be? What would
character that deserved better?
Is it spoilers to do this?
I just say like the book, but maybe not the specific character. Is that spoiler?
Triss.
Well, that was very specific.
Because I feel like saying a book maybe spoils it more because then people know what series you're talking about.
How does a book spoil it more than the character?
You know that someone big's gonna die, and the character you might not know any of the character's names. So like,
not necessarily die. Let's just say that you felt like their ending was unjust.
Save Danny.
I was gonna say my answer is the Game of Thrones finale. I want to change many things. Season 8. I wish I would. Game of Thrones. Just feeling.
I don't know this character's ending yet, and you guys will probably yell at me for saying this character.
What is it?
I didn't love the treatment of Kale Westfall.
Oh.
I mean, I liked where he went in his own book, but I still was not okay with like how he was treated early on in the series.
But he got a whole book of.
I know, but still, I wasn't a fan of how he was treated early on. So.
Well, I mean, I think that she did it for you though. Like if you did save Kale, she gave you save Kale.
She saved Kale.
I'm just saying I didn't like
You're not like
I'm just saying that.
But that's
but guys, I'm just saying.
It's not the end of his arc. We're gonna get in a fight right now.
It's okay, Jesse. We understand. Okay.
Oh,
you understand. Thank you. That means so much to me.
I don't understand.
Okay. Let's see. Kat, did you have an answer for this? Danny. I mean,
or just Game of Thrones in general. There's a couple things.
There's a couple people. But Who would you cosplay at ExcelsiCon?
Ooh.
Like a character from the Starfield movie?
No. You could cosplay as anything like
Oh,
okay.
okay.
What do you want to
Sci-fi related?
Or fantasy, I think.
I do own this dress, so I could cosplay as Princess Amara.
It's probably not as fancy as Amara's. This is like a
yeah, Amara's is fancier than mine. I would have to like dress it up a little bit, but I have the gradient of the dress. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go as Albus Dumbledore.
You already did that.
I know, but I love him, so I just want to cosplay him.
I just want a beard again.
I want to be able to touch it, but not actually. It's actually terrible because you can't eat without getting hair in all your food.
And also the removing of it was a whole ordeal.
I would love to cosplay as Sirius Black. I just thought of that.
That'd be really
fun.
Yeah.
On
Sarah,
Christine's shirt. Seriously?
You know what? I want to cosplay as Baz in the promotional images for Wayward Son. Like that flower print suit. I really, really want a flower print suit like that.
You need to make it happen, regardless.
You should like fund someone to make it for you.
I'm gonna have to just ask my mom or something. Like, mom, like I have to like go find material that's like just like it, and yeah, I feel like I have to have it custom made if I want it.
We have a question about our cosplays in the comments. Do you guys make your cosplays or buy them? Because your cosplays always look amazing, is what they say.
Thanks. We I think buy the pieces.
It's mostly buy them, but we mostly buy separate pieces and put them together. Like I've never bought like a packaged costume.
Oh no, you have to like look for pieces all over the place.
Yeah. Also, our cosplays are like usually the kind that you can't find like easily costumes for, that you have to like.
I feel like all cosplays are like that. Like you can't find like that random person.
I think the only ones that aren't are like the superhero ones where you have like you can buy like a superhero uniform.
Yeah, or like Daenerys, where like you could pay $1,000 for her perfect thing.
Yeah.
You know how I put my cosplays together?
Well,
Natasha sends me a bunch of links, and I buy everything that she sends me. It's really hard, really challenging.
Yeah, like that's with the beard. I was like, Natasha, how do I do a beard? And then she sent me a bunch of links of stuff to buy too.
Right.
I'm like taking my allergy medication because my eyes are like tearing up right now.
Oh no.
I also saw a question earlier in the comments about which romance we preferred in this book.
Oh,
I honestly liked both.
Yeah, I like both.
Yeah.
I feel like. Go ahead.
I love the enemies to lover situation, and that's kind of what Ethan and Imogen kind of were. So I really liked that.
Yeah. I like seeing the softer side of Jess too with Harper. I felt bad for Harper because it's kind of like weird when you're like think that this is like your best internet friend, and then it's like not, and then it's like a movie star, and it's like, how do I date a movie star? It's like kind of like totally flipped everything on their head. Like, whoa.
I felt bad for Harper when she first met Jess too, because it was like she's meeting this person that she thinks is her internet friend. And it's kind of disappointing because she's like not like who she was online and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
For her, I mean, not a bummer because she likes her, but like a bummer in general because you're like very confused about everything that just happened.
Yeah. And especially because it all happens relatively fast. Like, this book takes place over like a couple days at the convention.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it'd be a very overwhelming thing.
For sure.
But yeah, I really liked both relationships as well. I don't know if I could choose a favorite one. Because yeah, I liked the enemies to lovers thing, and especially like their banter together was like so much fun. Like them arguing over different fandom things. I was just like, yes, this is very cute. But yeah, I did really like seeing Jess like have something good in her life and like have like a softer side, and yeah, I loved that. Yeah,
I like the one when she was like she has to stop being an Aaron Burr and like choose a side, and he was like, She is Hamilton. She doesn't want to she doesn't want to throw away her shot. Oh. Let's see here. Questions. Okay. Who do you think is going to be the Beast in the third book? The Beast.
It's the Beauty and the Beast retelling.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh no.
Wait, do you think that Vance is going to be the Beast?
Oh, I hope not, because I hate him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I hope not. I don't know. I don't know if the main characters have been announced and like how they're going to be connected to.
Oh, he could be the Beast, because the Beast
No!
is annoying. I fucking hate the Beast.
But it'll be like a good thing. Like he'll
evolve
to
Yeah.
a better person, but it'll be annoying leading up to that point.
Yeah.
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 I just can't think of anybody who else it would be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a new set of characters that we haven't been introduced to, but
Yeah, I mean, this one was almost new. Like we met Jess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be interested to see. I'm really excited for the next book.
me too.
Yeah. It should be fun, even though I hate Beauty and the Beast.
You hate Beauty and the Beast?
I just really don't like it. I don't want to say hate because people get really upset, but like I just don't like it. Like I just don't understand it at all. Because the actual movie, it's like he's mean and abusive, and then she like is in love with him after like a second of being nice. And I was like, no.
I feel like these are like very loose retelling.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
why I was like, Akatar, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but it was completely like different and not Beauty and the Beast at all.
Right.
Oh my god, my eyes are watering. I have to get like allergy eye drops. Why are the allergies so bad right now? Anyway, question.
One question that's just like a clarifying question. They ask, is this a romance story or a story of friendship?
It's both.
It's both. There is romance, but it's not like romance heavy. It's not like the main focus of the story. It is mostly about like friendship and fandom. And yeah.
It's about fandom and how it like, you know, how it helps people and what it does for people's lives and all sorts of things like that.
Also to this person, I was going to say to this person, why are you watching right now? We're spoiling it. Go read it. Don't watch this right now.
I know we've got a couple questions that are like that. And it's just like, wait, we're talking about this. I guess they're not like completely spoiling things because there's not like too much spoilers. It's more of like a ride, like you be there for the ride type of a story.
Yeah. I mean, like that's kind of what I would expect from like a contemporary rom-com. Like it's like, well, yeah, the characters probably get together in the end after having hijinks. Like that's the genre. So yeah, I think that this is a less spoilery and more just like a fun, like you enjoy the experience of reading.
Right. I was gonna ask, did you guys suspect who was leaking the script?
I thought it was the director because he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. You were right. Good job. I didn't like suspect that it was the director, but I also didn't think it was Vance because they were just like making it way too obvious. So like, oh, it must be Vance. It's got to be Vance. It's like, well, no, it's not going to be him.
The director just seems so like skeevy the whole time.
Yeah.
I was just like, why is the director such an ass?
I also had like a little thought that it could be Ethan for some reason.
I didn't think it was him.
Just because he was there when she threw away the script, so I was like, oh, maybe he like got the script somehow and was leaking it. But
in the first second, I thought like maybe a fan saw it and wanted money, but then like as the story went on, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because a fan would just like put the whole script up.
Yeah.
It's true.
Or they'd be, if they were trying to get money, like they would actually be direct about it and be like just the vague threats like weren't what like a fan would do in that situation. I didn't feel so. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we're taking questions using the hashtag #FandomSplosion on Twitter, or in the chat you can put your question and we'll probably see it too. I
What
love.
was your guys' favorite scene? Did you have like a favorite little scene or favorite little part?
I liked. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I liked the dramatic scene with Jess at the end when she came in the dress and gave that inspirational speech to everybody in the audience. It reminded me of like the Mean Girls scene at the end when she wins prom night and she like breaks the tiara and is like passing it to everybody.
Yeah, that was
great. It's a little cheesy, but I liked it a lot.
I liked it too. I liked also the part when we first were introduced to Vance, like when Jess was on stage being, I mean, not Jess, Imogen was on stage being Jess. Yeah, I liked seeing Imogen be Jess and having her experience all this like stuff from the other side of things. All of those scenes I think were really great and really interesting to like see her reaction to.
Yeah, but one of my favorite parts that was kind of like just a small moment. It was when all the Amaras were like taking pictures together. Like Elle had like arranged like a little Amara meetup, and so they were all taking pictures together. And it was Jess, right? Jess got to see like all the Amaras, and like it was like, oh, this fandom, like they really love Amara. I thought that was just a really cute little moment.
Yeah, I like that too.
I feel like that was like almost like a turning point for her too, and like her realizing how important that character even was.
Yeah.
Cool to see.
Yeah, it was. It was like her pivot point in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Come back to it.
We have a question about the writing style. What do you think about the author's writing style?
I think we enjoy it a lot.
It's like super happy-go-lucky.
Yeah,
it's the best way I can describe it.
It's super accessible. Like it's not like a dense book where you have to like really pay attention. Like it's just so much fun. I mentioned earlier, like I fly through both of these books. Like I read each one in a single sitting. Because yeah, it's just so fun and cute and so funny and clever and like. Yeah, I love the writing style. Yeah. I love Ashley's like sense of humor and the way she like writes jokes and like the witty banter and everything. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's my favorite kind of writing. The happy-go-lucky books are so sweet and fun to read.
Yes.
Okay, should we take a few more questions and then like recap what next month?
I have a quick question. Christine, you read the audiobook, right?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
So I went in and out of the audiobook and the ARC. And there are a lot of changes. This is like the most changes I've ever, because I don't usually, like there's a couple times where I've had the ARC and also an audiobook going. But like you don't realize how many changes are from ARC to regular book usually because you just read the ARC and you're like, oh, I read the book. But like there are sections in here, like one time I opened this up to try to like read along with the audiobook and I could not find where they were. Like I was like, where is this conversation? Like they just said this and they haven't said this, like where is it? And I realized it's just like something that she put in after this draft. Like it was just like a conversation that wasn't there. And there's like a couple of those where like there's in the beginning when she talks to Vance, he says like I'll be in the Marriott. I forget what he says in the actual book, but in here he says he'll be like writing, like he writes scripts or something, but he says something completely different in the actual book. And there's like little bits like that a lot in the ARC as compared to the finished book. So I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm like listening to this audio book because I would have not known that there were like so many changes in the way the dialogue happens.
Yeah, so I only read the ARC. Christine mentioned this in the Booksplosion chat, and I was like, what? Like, what did I miss?
Like, I'm sure it's nothing like, and all encompassing.
Change the whole story, but
yeah, it's bits here and there where she just like probably like made improvements to her, or whatever she wanted to make like dialogue different to feel like she liked it better.
I do definitely need to read a finished copy now, so I can know those little bits I missed.
Yeah. Also, the acknowledgments are not in the arc. Her acknowledgments for Vigarella were like my favorite part of the book because they made me cry. And then I was like, hey, excuse me. And then also they were not in the audiobook because a lot of authors like don't feel like because they asked me, they're like, oh yeah, authors sometimes just don't include them. I was like, no, I want them because I hate it when there's no acknowledgments.
Did they have 2 different voice actors?
They did have 3 different voice actors.
Whoa.
Yeah.
3.
I
Who's
think
the 3rd?
I don't know. I didn't know until they said 3 names, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I wonder if they either switched an actress halfway through, or if it was just like the Danielle. The L.
Is it that little L article like in the very beginning?
It might have been. Wait, in the beginning? It's at the end.
Oh, there's one in the beginning and one at the end.
Oh, okay, I don't remember the one at the beginning. What was the one at the beginning?
Also L.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't realize I wrote that one. Oh shit. Yeah. Jesse has his beautiful finished copy there. I want a finished one.
We got a question asking which cover we prefer.
Oh, I like the Geekarella one just like because I'm so attached to it, I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was so beautiful and I love it.
I mean, they're both great.
What's this one look like?
It has Ethan and Harper on it.
Oh my god!
Awesome art.
Let me see it again. I want to see it. Hold it up. You're not big. Talk. Okay. Oh my god. That's not how I pictured them at all.
That's how I pictured them.
I did too.
I mean, maybe Ethan. I feel like I pictured Harper to be like tiny, but she looks tall.
I don't know.
I like that. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it too. I wish I had it. I must have missed descriptions while I was listening to the audiobook.
This is it under.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, and I love how it matches the opposite of Geekarella. Like Geekarella has a purple cover, but a blue.
Oh, it's pretty.
It's very beautiful.
It's hard to pick a favorite one because I think that these are some of the best covers.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Like Quirk did such a good job at like doing illustrated covers before the trend of illustrated covers was here, and also it's like illustrated to be exactly from the book. Like this cover was like made with such attention to detail for the story, and it's just as beautiful.
Gryffindor Seeker is asking, like, what did you think of Imogen's ex-lover, Jasper? And he was, like, such a typical YouTube douche. Like, he was
like Jake Paul. It was like reading about Jake Paul.
Classic YouTube douche. And, like, he was, I appreciated the time they took talking about how he, like, touched her ass and how, like, she was too afraid to talk about it and all that stuff, because in the moment you're just like, you don't know what to do. You're doing this meet and greet. Like, how do you move forward? Because I know with the Taylor Swift thing, so many people are like, why didn't she say something? It's like, how do you say something in that moment with like the photographers there and like you're meeting and greeting and talking to people and like smiling for hours? Like, excuse me. It's just, I like how she tackled that. Oh, it got really quiet.
We were just like, yes, preach.
Did anyone crave pretzels while they were reading this? I was waiting to hear who that pretzel guy was because they were paying too much attention to him. And
I was waiting to hear who he was too.
Yeah. Like, is that the sperm donor? Is he both of your fathers?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
That would be a twist.
Oh my god. So you want to announce our next book of the month?
Yeah. What are we reading?
June.
In June.
We are reading The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassie Clare and Wesley Chu.
So this just came out in April, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a collection. Is it short stories or is it a
No, it's a book. It's a book.
book? And it takes place after, was it City of Bones?
After City of Glass.
I'm going to stop talking. I don't know what I'm talking
No, it takes place after the big war in City of Glass. And if you've read City of, oh my God, the one that comes after that.
Lost Souls.
I was going to say Babies. No, it's the Babies one. City of Lost Souls is the second one. City of Fallen Angels. City of Fallen Angels. If you read City of Fallen Angels, you know Jace talks about like the pictures of like Magnus and Alec traveling around. This is their journey traveling around. For like this is their first trip as a real couple because like they finally like told his parents and now they're like out in the open as a couple and they're going on a trip around the world. And it's called The Red Scrolls of Magic and I think it's going to be really fun and lovey and I'm excited. I don't know, but like I feel like this feels like a romance novel to me from the outside, but we'll see if there's intense dark.
I wonder how much of a romance it is. And also, this book was originally supposed to be adult.
Yeah.
Then it ended up being just YA now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I wonder if it's because they told her your audience is YA, so make it YA.
Yeah, it feels like a publishing decision that was made like higher up in the book world than like.
I mean, like this one especially, I feel like it's you know, like the beginning bits of a relationship, and it's like really fun and new.
Yeah.
How old would Alec be in this one?
19.
Yeah, they'd still be above.
I mean, he's 19 and Magnus is like 1,000. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's still like that new adult age. It's YA, I guess.
They want to call it YA, I bet.
Yeah.
Because so that her like parents wouldn't be afraid to buy it for their kids.
Mm.
But yeah, so this is going to be our June book of the month, and our live show right now is scheduled. Did we schedule it?
We have a tentative of June 29th. That's the last Saturday of June.
Yeah. We'll let you know officially.
Yeah, if it changes, we'll let you know. But we would like to do it that weekend versus the 4th of July weekend. So we'll just follow us on Twitter so we can update y'all.
Yeah, and don't forget about Dear Booksplosion, the segment that we're going to be doing at our BookCon panel. You don't have to be going to BookCon to submit questions, advice questions. No advice is too weird or small. Send it to emails like Toys R Us. Emails are awesome at gmail.com. And we'll be filming the segment, putting it on the Booksplosion channel. So make sure you're subscribed. It's going to be super fun. And I think we'll put our BookCon schedule in the description.
That's a good idea. We should do that. Yeah.
We should do that. And
we'll like tweet it and Instagram it out too. So
yeah.
Follow the Booksplosion social medias.
Thank you guys all so much for joining us.
Yeah. Is that everything?
Is that everything? Are we gonna sign off?
Let's sign off.
Signing off.
All right.
I'm Christine.
I'm Kat.
I'm Jesse. We're Booksplosion. We'll see you next month for our Red Scrolls of Magic live show. Bye.